Let's combine the exponent rules we've learned to simplify a fairly large expression here. And so we're just going to take this piece by piece. When we look at this first set of parentheses here, this 2 outside the set of parentheses needs to go to everything that's in the parentheses. So the 2 is going to go to the 3. It's going to give us 3 squared. It's going to go to the x. It's going to give us x squared. And it's going to go to the y to the 4th. So that's going to give us y to the 4th squared. And there's the power of a power rule coming up. The second set has got a 3 outside the brackets, but before we can deal with that, we've got a 2 inside the brackets. There's a couple of ways we could go about doing this. One is that we could put the 2 on the -2 and the y, and then worry about the 3. But let's be a little sneaky here. Let's use our power of a power rule. Let's do 2 times 3 to get 6. And so this is going to give us -2y to the 6th power. And so that's sort of a sneaky way that we can get this cleaned up a little faster. So let's go ahead and multiply. 3 squared is 9. X squared, of course, is just going to stay x squared. And then our power of a power rule says that y to the 4th squared is y to the 8th. -2 to the 6th power, you got to be careful if you put this in the calculator. The -2 has to go in parentheses, so that we're doing -2 times -2 times -2 times -2. Without the parentheses, it'll just do 2 to the 6th power, then tack a negative on it. So we've got to be careful there. And then, of course, y to the 6th power. You may want to use a calculator to do -2 to the 6th power. It comes out to be 64. -2 to the 6th power is positive 64. And so once we get this done, we're going to go ahead and start grouping our terms that have the same base. So for example, 9 and 64 are both constants, so let's multiply those guys together. We've got x squared, which doesn't have anybody to go with. There's nothing else that has an x in this problem, so he's going to be all by himself. And then the y's can go together. Y to the 8th times y to the 6th. That's going to be our product of a power rule. And that's whenever we have two bases that are the same and we add the exponents. So 9 times 64 is 576, I think. If it's not 576, whatever you do, don't tell me. Just let me live the rest of my life thinking I got that right. And then product of powers means we have the same base and we add the exponents. So 8 plus 6 is 14, so this will be y to the 14th. And that's going to be our answer. 576 x squared y to the 14th. And so this problem uses multiple exponent rules. We have to take an exponent outside the parentheses and put it on everything in the parentheses. We had to use our power of a power rule a couple of times right there at the beginning. And then at the end with the y's, we had to use our product of a power rule. And so all of those rules coming together in this complicated expression to give us this final answer of 576 x squared y to the 14th.